Good morning, Stud Muffin 1986 here. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm just a little curious, and I don't know if you guys are as well, in terms of when the new matchmaking for the terrible players is going to be taking effect. I am just really curious in terms of exactly how this works, if it's a matter of so many thumbs down, inactivity in battle from what I understand, and just what that level of minimum effort that they're putting forth before they start going toward their own little battle arena, I guess, so to say. I've been still coming across quite a bit of players. As a matter of fact, I was playing some games last night where there were just some really bad players. And, you know, I understand there's really not a whole lot you can do. And it's kind of funny, and maybe this just is my luck. Sometimes it just seems like when I'm playing, I'm always against the heroes 90% of the time. But then when it's my team is the one that's just always seems to be struggling. So I don't know. It's just really curious. I'm just really curious to know when a lot of these players. The other thing too that I'm just so surprised about when I watch some of these players is, especially at tier 10, watching them play after I've died, and just in complete awe and shock at how on earth they could be playing the way that they are, where they're in a heavy and they are completely not even, like, they have no concept of trying to angle your armor at all. It's like they're trying to block rounds, or they think they're invincible or something by trying to use the rear of their tank or something, or just like the sides of their tank. I really don't understand how in the world you can be at a tier 10 level and have this kind of mindset where you have no understanding or concept of angling your armor and just knowing how to play. It's like, how did you get to tier 10 without learning this? And I understand sometimes the enemy has these players, sometimes we have these players, but I'll be honest with you, I get to a point where I lose like 4 or 5 games in a row and I'm like, okay, I just need to switch tiers. I'm either having just like way too bad of luck. Sometimes I notice there's just those same players in the same queue, going in the same exact battles, and you keep getting them over and over again, and you watch them and they're either YOLOing or they're just heavy tanks that have absolutely no concept of like how to side scrape or angle their armor, or they're like heavy tanks trying to camp. It just sometimes is just jaw-dropping to watch tier 10. I mean, it's one thing if it was like tier 1 or tier 2, tier 3, but when you have a tier 10 player that is supposed to have, probably, especially if they're playing like that, the amount of credits and XP you've got to build up to get through the tech tree to get to a tier 10, I think is like, I don't even, but probably around 400 battles, maybe even 500 if you're that bad. I just don't get it. I know one thing I'm not 100% a fan of is wargaming giving access to newer players that don't even have a tier 10. They can maybe have like 49 battles and they have a chance to start at crates or purchasing tier 10s that come out in the store. Honestly, just no way. And I think you should only be able to get a tier of premium tank depending on whichever tier you've grinded up and have earned to get. That's just my 2 cents. And just my opinion. So I don't know. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this whole thing. I understand wargaming is a business and they've got to make money, and I'm all in support. I love this game. I just know that sometimes you just run into this, and it's hard to avoid. Sometimes you get put on those teams, and honestly, just what helps me is like, okay, I'm just going to mix it up. I'm just going to play with a different tier. The other thing is I've even seen in the game recently where Wargaming has come out with this offer for like 5,000, you can now purchase 500,000 free XP. I think it was like a pop-up offer like in the store not even that long ago, and I'm like, what? That is exactly the thing that I'm talking about. Like, you are making it so easy for these these like noobs, so to say, that have no concept of the game and that can just purchase their way up through higher tiers, and then they're in these battles where they just don't have any grasp understanding in what's going on. And if this whole new matchmaker system is working, shouldn't these players that are playing so terribly and have no concept of knowing the different types of tanks, how to play them, if you're a heavy tank, you should be angling, you're a medium or light tank, you should be spotting, and like just understanding the basics of, hey, if you're getting shot at, maybe you should get behind cover. Like, when are these players gonna start going to the special battle arena where they can then work their way up back into, the battles? I mean, if this matchmaker is really the case, I would just like to know a little bit more about the specifics and the details of those parameters on when these players are going to be put in this special boot camp. And like, if there was some sort of badge or something they had to let them know, or just some sort of notification letting them know, hey, you're now in like the lower tier battles to help you improve, and then once you get better, and then you can go up to the normal battles. Just something. I don't know. I'm just really curious. I'm sorry, guys. I think this video kind of turned more into a little bit of venting and ranting a little bit, so I appreciate you guys just listening to me. But anyway, let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Just super curious. I love the game, even though there are just sometimes these frustrations. You guys stay cool and keep tanking. Take care.